brainchild of a man called Dr. Femi Biko. It's the brainchild of him. And the school, how he created the school, he created a Black Studies program. He's the first person to do a Black Studies program in any institution in this country. When I mean institution, like he got it into the actual school, and then increased it into Goldsmith University. He started to teach at Goldsmith University in Lucia. But that's a different story. However, I came to the knowledge of the school through visiting a bookshop in Brixton in the 90s called Timbuktu. That was run by a brother called Ajani. And upstairs from where Johnny was dancing, upstairs, that's where they had the Black Archives. It was upstairs. It was on the corner of Acre Lane and Atlantic Road, Brixton. It's no longer there no more. It's a chicken shop. They've done all sorts of stuff because they've gentrified the area. So the Black Archives is moved round to what they call Windrush Square, which before that was called Brixton Oval. Yeah. However, it's a longer story than that, and maybe another time I'll have time to do it. But we got this leaflet. My brethren and I, Kumba, we got this leaflet, and we went to the course. And incidentally, I think right, I was working with British Telecom at the time, Kumba and I, and he gave me a book one day. It was called Nature Knows No Color Line, J.A. Rogers.
Do they still say that?
Yes. Yeah, yes, you can still. You should be able to still get it.
Nature has no color.
Yeah, 1 second. Nature has no color line. And I read this book. And I was learning things that I never heard before. So I said, I gave him back a book. I said, boy, I want to get this book here now. He goes, yeah, there's a bookshop in Brixton, a black bookshop in Brixton. And I said, right, we're going to go down. Anyway, we're at work this day. And we used to reason a lot. And the interesting thing about Kuumba is that we went to the same secondary school. But I was much older than him. But he remembers me, I don't remember him. But what's interesting about that story is that his cousin and I were best friends. So he would tell me stories about when I used to come around to his cousin's house, he used to come around Eddie's house, I used to see you, man, them. But me don't remember him. But that's because I'm about 5 years his senior. So when he came to school, I was leaving. Yeah, but I'm just trying to give a spiritual connection to the story. You understand? So here we meet now at British Telecom. We're starting to talk, and then he's telling me who I am and blah blah. I said, oh, this guy, I know me. So we got close, and we started to reason, about, things to do with us as black people. You know what I mean? And British Telecom was at the time, and probably still is, very racist. It's a racist institution. Yeah? And although they had black people there, black people weren't in too many positions of power, so to speak. You didn't have much black managers at the time. And if you did, they were below other managers. But that's all the different scenario. So we used to read a lot, exchange things, reason, and them type of things. So one day we said, boy, I wish there was somewhere we could go and study this. So we bought the Voice newspaper one day. This is no word of a lie. We opened the newspaper, and when we opened that newspaper, right there, right on the page, right there, so Black Studies program.
Oh, that's good.
Right there, so
And you just didn't do anything?
No, we phoned up.
Oh, okay.
But when we phoned up, they said the course cancelled. No, we phoned up, we couldn't get through, so we went down there. So the woman said, the course is cancelled. So the course cancelled? I said, yeah, it's not happening no more. So I said to Mark, let's go down to Brixton and get the book. So we go into Ajani's shop, Timbuktu. I must have spent about £50 in there today, because it was like an Aladdin's cave. All these books and information. So we bought the book, and we're on our way out. And this man walks in. And the only way I can describe this man, he looked like Malcolm X 31 years later. This man gives us this leaflet. And we read the leaflet. And we walk and we go to him. No, look. We went down there. He goes, listen, you just turn up there 7 o'clock on Tuesday. It's happening. And that man was Femi Biko. And they were trying to sabotage the course. And from that course, he recruited the Sebas that he wanted in the school. I was the last one he recruited because I had a bit too much mouth. Right? And that was around about 1991. There was a pilot starting of the school which happened in the June and July, and then in the September the school started. And that is our Nubia African Community Foundation School begun. Nubia African Community Foundation School was started. It started in the mind of a great man. And he brought it to life. And 31 years later, here we are, still teaching. We don't run the school no more. The students that we taught before, they run the school now. But we still come here as Seba's elders to assist them, and they order us about and tell us what we do. But we have no problems with that, because there comes a time in our community, and in African communities, you need to release power to the younger people then. When I mean younger people, I'm not talking like 15, 16 and them. I'm talking when they're men and women, and we must push it over to them. I was 28 years old when I started this. When I started on the Liberation Road, I was 28 years old. Yeah, I'm 60. Anyway,